From December 2013 to August 2014, I gave my heart away, and then watched it as it was cast out of the passenger window of a stranger's sedan, repeatedly run over by numerous oblivious random vehicles, then left crushed and bleeding by the side of some road, Kirkland, Washington. On a one-way United flight from Seattle to San Diego, I knew something was missing, but I was so paralyzed with grief I couldn't tell if it was my heart or my actual soul or merely just the light in my eyes or all three. When I arrived back home, no one, not even my own mother, recognized me, and for months I suffered through memory and mourning, anger, grief, madness, suicide, and all over again and again. But I was blind of any logic or restraint, so I returned to the beginning of the end, Portland, Oregon. I convinced myself that if I could only face her without hate, resent, hurt, or anger, if I could exist but not be affected by her presence, if I could only do this, I would be free of my pain and sorrow, be free of my anger and resent. I could stop searching for answers to why or how come. I could retrieve my heart, my soul, and the light in my eyes back from her. But unbeknownst to me, she had already created a story of painful untruths, probably with the mindset that I dare never return, probably created to mask the truth of what had actually tragically transpired between us, the betrayal, the lies, the insulting ways she was ashamed of our relationship. Once faced with her past and its male entourage of ignorant, closed-minded, testosterone-filled haters and instigators from her past who preferred her beautiful, easy, and loaded for their own selfish pleasures, she didn't seem to mind either. In fact, she easily and quickly forgot our experience, our bond, our friendship, and listened to their ignorant, misogynistic opinions of me as a freak and an oddity. And she joined in with them, and I began to disgust and annoy her. It became progressively more painful, more confusing. I became weak, desperate, distraught, lost, alone, fearful. My sanity began to waver. It got worse and worse, and I saw her less and less as she lied more and more, eventually blaming me for everything wrong in her life, problems that existed long before I arrived. It was like being jumped by a gang of angry, hostile, ignorant bullies and watching your only friend join them in knocking you down repeatedly. They laughed at me as though I were a joke, and she laughed with them. And when I finally heard her actually betray our friendship with her own mouth, I was punished. She punished me by splitting my skull open with a glass bottle. Then after, she laughed and mocked me while they took pictures of the blood-splattered living room, walls, and couch. I, at the same exact time, curled up into a small fetal position in my bed, crying, while my head bled for 3 days, finally stopping as my hair, dried blood, made a clot of the deep cuts on my head. Then, as soon as my survival instinct could say run, I flew home days before Christmas. But I couldn't escape the memory of being sold out, betrayed, and finally grievously injured by one whom I once believed was like blood to me, my dearest friend and confidant, the one I gave it all to without question or doubt. So for months I suffered in agony, stuck in time, unable to move on or heal. Still confused and slowly losing all sense of logic or reality, I tossed and turned every night. I was plagued by violent dreams. I felt like I was being inhabited by some malevolency I contracted from her. It was not me. So I returned, desperate for answers, peace of mind. Instead, it filled me with more hate, more punishment. I guess for being stupid enough to return. I lasted 10 months before I had enough to convince me that she would never, ever take it back or admit any wrongdoing or allow me even a simple, honest apology or recognition. So I returned home again, and I changed everything this time. And I began to heal on my own, understand all sides of what happened and why. Suddenly I began to heal. My life started to receive an abundance of blessings. God brought true, honest, loving gifts into my life. Amazing people who would never even imagine betraying my friendship, heart, and loyalty like that. Suddenly I could see, feel, breathe again. I was no longer a slave to my unresolved issues, the blame, entitlement, apathy, addiction, obsessive, unrealistic thoughts about saving people or loving people or how it should happen or why. I focused on saving and loving myself. And so here I am, December 2014, and I've accomplished things I thought I had lost. I've been published, recognized, respected, become healthy, happy, in love with just being alive, blessed, grateful that I learned how to be grateful. Funny thing is, all that pain and sorrow, mourning and grief, those tears paved this road to my redemption. And so I'm even grateful for that experience. I'm 38. I still get carded for smokes. My life is successful and full. But honestly, between you and I, there's a small empty space that I kept hidden right by my heart. It's where I kept your memory, the good ones. It's off limits. No one is allowed there, only me. And I still visit it sometimes. And I still feel my eyes fill with tears when I remember you. You and I, before you let them all in, to judge and destroy the one person who would always love and believe in you. Because they simply just wanted to. Because it was only natural for them to do so. That will never die in me, I promise. And someday I hope you understand. You understand that. And someday maybe there won't be too much damage between us anymore and we could let it go. Just being, we could forgive ourselves and each other. And reclaim the bond that we will always know but may never admit or realize again. You exist inside of me. You are a part of my soul. I will never ever succumb to anger, resent, insults, hate, or disrespect toward you ever again. From now on, you will live in my memory and heart as the passionate, empathetic, charming, talented, clever, funny, caring, generous, loving, strong, beautiful, innocent, God-fearing, and proud woman I once knew, and only hope you find your freedom and allow it to help you grow into your destiny here on God's earth. I believe in you, always.